Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Papa Nadash. All praises, honor, glory, love, respect, faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and my Heavenly Big Brother, Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much for what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. Double honors to the apostles and the elders and bishops of GMS, Great Millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world, teaching this truth and none but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Bashim Shah. Trying to put a spiritual bug in you Hebrew Israelites' ears, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? That'd be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations, like for example, a Hebrew Israelite that like a so-called white person, or so-called Chinese person, or a so-called Indian person, etc., etc. Come play these videos. I'm gonna get into the scripts my best ability, say whatever God say through the spirit and the power of Yahweh by Shema Shah, the Holy Spirit, the Kurhak Wadash, Lord willing be on me. Let's get it. And by the way, these videos are the plagues of the Lord, and these plagues are scattered. The Lord is doing damage all over the world with these plagues. And yeah. Anyway, let's go.
Next, we turn our attention to India. As monsoon 2026 reaches its peak, the human and economic losses across the country are staggering. From the Himalayan peaks to the flooded plains of the northeast, entire towns have been cut off. Infrastructure has crippled, and hundreds of thousands are displaced. In Himachal Pradesh alone, losses have crossed over 800 crore rupees, which is over 84 million US dollars, while Jammu and Kashmir is now pleading for special central packages to bear the massive restoration costs. Behind these numbers lies a soul-crushing human tragedy, lives shattered, homes swept away, and communities left to rebuild from scratch. Our next report brings you a detailed account of the devastation.
The human and economic losses from India's monsoon this year continue to rise to staggering levels. From the northern mountains to the plains of the northeast, extreme monsoon havoc has claimed over 440 lives across 5 major states. In Assam, the flood situation remains critical. The death toll in the state has now crossed 100, with almost over 100,000 people struggling across 7 affected districts. Over 450 villages remain submerged, and more than 11,000 hectares of crops have been destroyed. Districts like Golaghat, Sivasagar and Jorhat are the worst hit, where rivers are still flowing above the danger mark.
व्यक्तियों को और गवर्नमेंट की जो लोग हैं तो हम अनुरोध करना चाहूँगा कि सराटे और जोरहाट और डिब्रूगढ़ में जैसा फ्लड हो रहा है हमारा ये मासबाट ओरंग में भी ये सेम कंडीशन का परिवेश देखने को मिला है.
Alright, let's get to the next video. If you want to watch the rest of it, be my guest. And the Lord killing a bunch of these damn heathens. You might have a Jake in the mix of one of these heathens, or they could be, I don't know. Anyway, the Lord is plaguing the shit out of this place, this whole world. Let's get to the next one. They didn't talk much about this hurricane hitting Hawaii much. I mean, I haven't heard much about it. I would have heard something about it, but I got some videos on it. Let's get it.
The saying goes with hurricanes, you can hide from wind, but you run from water. And this is why.
I didn't like this Christmas tree. I was thinking of it all night. Yeah, I didn't like the Christmas tree. I was kind of worried that it might come down, and sure enough did. But now I'm happy that it didn't hurt anybody, and now I don't have to worry about it.
For those of you new to the channel, I'm Jonathan Petramala. I travel the world covering extreme weather, and most importantly, I tell the stories of the people impacted by it. This video, though, is going to be a little different. I'm going to let the images of what Hurricane Lala did as it passed by the Big Island tell the story for themselves. Let me know what you think about it in the comments, and if you want to support independent journalism, please like and subscribe to this video.
For brothers out there and sisters out there in Hawaii. Really shit everywhere, you know. Because here the Lord's bringing some heavy plagues and judgment to this whole earth.
This is my adventure group here to the island. I saw the volcano Kilauea eruption, perfect time, and now I get a hurricane.
They said, yo, volcano eruption, and now you got a hurricane. That bridge, like, this shit need to be, they need to do some kind of repairs. Yeah, you know damn well, and they got shit vegetation growing in it. Growing on that bitch look like it's about ready to give soon.
Probably in the last couple months.
But the wind is what concerns you if it doesn't?
Yeah. Just the albizia trees. Yeah. Softwood, high, big canopies, a lot of surface area. Those fall, they cause a lot of damage.
Island may get a lot of rain.
Alright, anyway, I ain't gonna play all that. I got a lot of other videos to cover. What is this? Virginia. A day ago. Yeah, I'll play that too. Where am I gonna play it? I'm gonna put it up here. I know this was a day ago. Actually 2 days ago, but I didn't know anything about it. Sound like hail coming down too. I just want to play a little bit of that. Let's move on to the next one.
If I were him.
Yeah, that's right. We've been talking about all of the impacts across the islands from Lala. Of course, Hawaii County, the most hit. Mahea Richardson is over in Pahala, where we've seen some residents get trapped because of some destroyed roads there. So let's listen to Mahea's report right now.
I'm here in Pahala fronting the Ka'u Hospital. This is a community of about 2,000 people that is now trapped because the water went down the Pa'au'au stream, burst through the rock wall onto the highway, and then you can see how the highway just collapsed because of the force of the water and debris. What's incredible is that retaining wall. That retaining wall looks like it shifted, broke in two, and then the highway collapsed. You can see the police officer and contractors there. We've been talking to residents of this area. They say it's been about 25 years since destruction like this, and they are devastated.
I wasn't here when this got built. My parents were here, so I remember hearing the stories of how they were just stuck here. So it's just seeing this and seeing how the road got washed away, it's just catastrophic. They said it was 9 o'clock last night that it started to overflow.
Deborah, you and maybe about 2,500 residents in Pahala are trapped.
Yes.
You cannot go anywhere. How does it feel to not be able to go anywhere because of this?
Worrisome, in all honesty, because we've always been stuck in the middle of nowhere. So you kind of feel forgotten about when you're out here. Like,
describe what happened to the water.
From here, it looks like that the rocks kind of just started to pile up and clump up. So did the trees that fell down, and it just caused a huge pile up over there. And just with all of the debris, water needs a way to go. And so it just started to find its own natural course.
Residents and officials we've been talking to say they're just overwhelmed to see the scale of the damage. They heard around last night there was a roar and then a gushing of water. And look at this sign. It says speed limit 55, but with people not knowing when the highway will reopen in this area.
Tonight, Lala's damage coming into focus after lashing Hawaii's Big Island overnight. The eye of the storm passing 30 miles off the island's southern coast, dumping feet of rain and hitting coastal areas with dangerously high surf. Teams rescued a woman from a tree after a flash flood swept her home away. Video shows floodwaters surging in front of this house. Hawaii National Guard saving two paramedics trapped inside their own truck.
Taking down the sign.
before it, too, was washed away.
The trash can's moving.
All that water wreaking havoc island-wide. From a drenching that felt non-stop.
There's rushing water, there's debris, and there's boulders on the road, and it's dark.
Oh my God.
The storm's so strong, the current washed out this road, taking down trees with it. In Hilo, water churning under this bridge, and drone video capturing roads completely submerged. The highest rainfall total from this storm, more than 42 inches along the Big Island's northeast coast. Winds there reaching more than 70 miles an hour, ripping roofs off buildings. Lala downgraded to a tropical storm overnight, as hundreds of thousands go without power today. Just south of Hilo in Mountain View, Wendell Causey and his family working to clear roads of downed trees.
What were you telling the grandkids as this one moved in?
Yeah, they kept asking, is this the storm? Is this the storm? Yes.
You should be asking, is this the players of Yahweh Shema Rashad? Nah, you know they gonna ask that question.
But trying to keep it so that it's not so scary.
After losing their home to Hurricane Iniki in 1992, tonight, the family grateful to have survived a rare second Hawaiian hurricane.
Morgan is joining us now from the Big Island. And Morgan, we're just learning the airports there are reopening.
Yeah, Hallie, that's right. The Department of Transportation.
All right, anyway. What is this? Indiana. Whole lot of talk about Indiana. Yeah, man. Plagues, brother. The Lord ain't slacking back or holding back. What is this? More on Hawaii. Yeah, well, I had enough about listening to what's going on in Hawaii. Let's see what's going on. I guess it's in Indiana. I think. Yeah, Indiana.
Your cavities can actually repair themselves.
They got jacked up.
One of the hardest hit areas today is the north side of Indianapolis. Water overtaking neighborhoods in Ravenswood. Fire crews actually using boats to help get people out. Our Ashton Hackman's been in Ravenswood all day. So Ashton, have things changed since this morning?
They certainly have. When we started the morning, we were at the end of the street, all the way off in the distance. That is impassable now. And as you can see, many of these yards here in Ravenswood are now prime lakefront property. You have to go to the sky to see how bad these floodwaters are.
Before the sun came up, water was already rising through Ravenswood, turning streets into streams, lawns into lakes, and swallowing some cars. For Melanie Dean, the morning started with a warning.
I woke up and I thought, oh, everything's going to be okay. And then everything started saying, get your butt up and look at what's going on.
Then she knew she had to go.
It was up to the middle of my tires, and I knew at that point that I had to get out.
For some neighbors, the water crept up to their homes.
It's surrounded our house. We don't think it's going to get in the house, but we were worried the electricity would be turned off and maybe lose the sump pump.
As the rain picked up, so did the response. Fire crews wading through knee-deep water, bringing in boats to get people out.
I mean, it's scary. Like, if you look at the river and how powerful it is when it's this flooded, I mean, you can get in trouble real fast.
Scary, but nothing new. Neighbors here are used to the floods. The White River surrounds them. When it rises, so does the risk of flooding. But this wasn't just another heavy rain or another flood.
It was right over my knees, and when I walked back 20 minutes later, it was almost to my waist. That's how fast it was coming up.
Melanie Dean has lived here for 41 years. This one, she says, is different. The water rising faster than she...
No. She been there for 4 decades. And it's different. So, these plagues are intensifying. Floods are intensifying. Yep.
He's ever seen it.
It has never been this hot. It has never.
Never. The way she's saying, it ain't never been this hot. Never. This is the worst. You probably get the ankle high. Up to your ankles. But then up to your waist, oh yeah. Now we got problems. These are players of Yahweh Shema Rashad, and they're just the beginning.
Been this high in 41 years.
And now there's nothing left to do but wait.
That's all you can do. And pray that the Lord gives me the stamina to get myself through all this.
Waiting to...
Oh, well, like I said, it's just the beginning of it. I don't think if you want to get through it, I don't know if she's an Israelite, but if you want to get, for you Israelites, if you want to get through it, you better seek the Lord, because get ready to lose everything. Shit. Especially if it's through a hurricane, floods, whatever, tornadoes, whatever. Or just lose it because you ain't down with this damn system that's coming down with that chip implant, the mark of the beast. Get ready to lose everything. But let me get back to the video.
See how much higher it gets and the damage it leaves behind.
And thankfully that wait might not be that much longer. We are expecting the crest here shortly into this evening at levels not seen in this part of town for quite some time, numbers that are no surprise to neighbors in this area. Meanwhile, in Hamilton County, we've already had the crest and the water is beginning to subside. That's where Samantha Johnson has been all day. Sam, flash flooding today still causing impacts though for roads and homeowners.
That's right, Ashton. Right now we are on the Logan Street Bridge, which runs right into downtown Noblesville, where there is a citywide state of emergency tonight. And that's because main thoroughfares throughout the city are closed, including the one right behind me here off the Logan Street Bridge. And this is why. Of course, the White River. You are looking upstream, the pedestrian bridge off in the distance there. You can see the extremely high waters we are still dealing with here in Hamilton County. The good news is, like Ashton mentioned, there was a crest overnight that happened at a record level, 24.6 feet. So floodwaters here finally starting to recede just a little bit, but what you are seeing right now is still above the record flood level. Extremely high water. Just downstream today, it was a busy day for Carmel Fire. I want to show you a major water rescue. This was near the Plum Creek neighborhood. This is just north of 116th Street, west of Hazeldale, if you're familiar with this area. This neighborhood sits right along the west banks of the White River. I saw more first responders.
Yeah, it's like a town full of fucking Edomites. Yeah.
Out there today than I can count, with life jackets.
I just realized that.
And rescue boats. There were ambulances on standby too, and neighbors I talked to say they had never seen anything like this. Thankfully, Tim Griffin with Carmel Fire tells me despite the dozens of people and animals rescued right from their home, no one was hurt.
And I believe we've over 40 people probably at this point, 23 horses.
Pulled from the Carmel Equestrian Center. Again, everyone making it out okay. Back here in Noblesville, this is
disaster declaration for Indiana. Our Brandon Schaff is looking into what that means for storm victims. He's live along.
Alright, anyway, we don't hear no more about this. Let's get to the next video, see what they got to say. Yeah, what is that? More on Indiana? Yeah.
This morning, the flood threat on the move, with rescue crews fanning out and families in parts of a major American city being urged to evacuate. On the north side of Indianapolis,
these guys showed up and to rescue me, and I had to go.
We watched as crews pulled resident David Trenopole and his dog Bubby to safety.
I've been around my house before, but never in it.
Later, we spotted this man walking in chest-deep water. Neighbors in a canoe paddling over to help.
Shit. Boy, yeah.
With first responders stretched thin, volunteers are patrolling.
I don't know, that nigga had dementia or he was just like, whatever.
Flooded areas.
So that's not something I've seen before.
Finding homes and cars submerged. Here, our drone shows that same neighborhood from above. Throughout the day Saturday, we saw multiple heavy downpours and lightning strikes. It's pouring again, like heavy rain, again, coming down in buckets. This is the last thing people hear need. The mayor declaring a disaster emergency, telling people in affected neighborhoods,
please leave your homes now. This is not a time to wait.
And tragically, that flooding claiming multiple lives, including Matthew Morey. Authorities confirming they found the 19-year-old's body in the Mississinawa River days after he and 3 friends jumped off a bridge into the water.
Stupid. Yeah, what happened was they thought it would be fun to just jump into a raging river. Yeah, it'd be fun. Yeah, let's jump in that bitch. Oh, now they're getting carried away by the fucking current. And then they're gonna shit, bumping into debris bumping into them. Fucking dumbass. Yeah, they tempted the Lord. They tried. Hey man, you know if this shit look dangerous, why would you try? Fucking dumb daredevil crackers. Ah well.
In a statement, the Delaware County Sheriff's Office writing, there are no words that can ease the pain of losing a child. Our
that nigga was a grown ass man.
Hearts are with Matthew's family, friends, classmates, and everyone who knew and loved him.
And once again, you can see these neighborhoods fully on.
And that's what happens when you be stupid. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Underwater overnight, Indiana authorities evacuating multiple buildings actually in a nearby apartment complex after part of a road there washed away. They're warning of imminent structure failure, and kind of further proof that even as this water recedes, recovery from this historic flood event will take time. Willie.
Such a tragedy with that young man and all the people who died and continue.
Oh yeah, whatever. Anyway, next video.
Another storm-filled day in the Denver metro area. Heavy rain and hail moving in around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, leaving some roads flooded. And that left some drivers stranded. Now, this was in Meridian Village. Crews had to bring in heavy machinery to move those chunks of ice off the roads.
And thankfully, there is the calm after the storm, in the form, in this case, of a double rainbow in this photo.
Wow, double rainbow. That means the Lord gonna double destroy this place with double fire from double nuclear warheads and missiles and shit. Could be oh yeah, it's gonna be double the fire with the nuclear warheads and from the chariots.
It was taken in Arvada. Absolutely gorgeous sight. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Shalima Maharaj. It was a day that some drivers in Douglas County won't soon forget. Today's hailstorm pummeled some parts, and one of the hardest hit spots was along Meridian Boulevard. And that is where we find 9 News reporter Colton Chavez tonight. Colton.
Shalima, I don't know how well any of you guys can see this right here, but there is still a ton of snow, I guess leftover hail, in this section of Meridian, Shalima, like you were just talking about. It almost feels appropriate to be wearing my winter coat right now in the middle of August. In South Metro Fire, they say they responded to 7 different occasions of cars being stranded in intersections just like this one. And for one driver, they say it felt like a moment out of a Hollywood show. It had all the makings of an end-of-the-world movie. A summer hailstorm, turning an intersection in Inglewood into what looked like a frozen tundra, and a skateboarding bull rider battling the elements to get home. Enter our main character, Kevin Plamondon.
It happened within seconds.
Kevin was driving home from work when he saw the flooded intersection at Meridian Boulevard and Oswego Street and thought he could make it through.
And as soon as I got to probably like right here, basically right here, I felt the car just kind of float. But then a truck turned left and was going this way. And the wake that he created caused the car to turn around. So I was just sitting there, just kind of like, I don't know what to do.
A moment that people who live nearby say they couldn't believe.
It's like we're in a glacier somewhere. It's just unreal.
But Kevin kept his cool.
I'm a bull rider, I ride bulls. So danger is my forte.
In under 8 seconds, Kevin even snapped a picture of the water flooding into his car.
It just kept rising and I was on my seat like this and I had to jump out and swim, literally swim.
Soon after, the water moved out and help started to move in. While it's another story for Kevin's car.
I did not think until it was too late, you know.
Our main character says the end of this movie comes with a valuable lesson.
But for future reference, it's like, I should have just taken Lincoln, or, you know, you don't try and get yourself into a predicament where it's gonna turn into this.
Yup. Let's see what the next video about.
The cost of healthcare is an emergency.
There go the dude car right there. I mean, damn. Alright, let's move on to the next one. You know what, let me play this one too, might as well. It's an hour ago, been published an hour ago. What is this about? Record dry low levels in Germany. Yeah, might as well throw that in there because I might get into droughts. Military desire shepherd. Get that too. Let's see what we got. Add this in right here. Droughts. Right. Actually, that's wrong. I don't supposed to put that there. That's for like military shit. Oh, it says something about military. Yeah, wrong video. Oh, man. I am fucking tired. I actually need to throw this. Well, hold on, what was this? Record heat? I guess so. Anyway.
Here's a look at some of the rain coming down pretty hard in Denver. We've seen on and off showers in the metro area this afternoon, and we're tracking severe storm warnings in parts of the state. And some rushing waters in the area of the Aspen Acres burn scar in Pueblo County. This is always the concern when we get a lot of rain after wildfires. It can cause this kind of flooding. And check this out. A viewer sent this video into us of people rafting in the floodwaters on East Kentucky Avenue after rain came pouring down Saturday afternoon. This is south of Expo Park. Probably not the safest, but impressive to see the amount of water we got yesterday. And breaking news on this First Alert Weather Day, 2 schools now shut down tomorrow because of flooding. Overland High School and Highline Elementary are both closed tomorrow. Highline is only about a block from where that video you just saw was taken, and both schools are in the Cherry Creek School District. Your reporter in Aurora, Michael Abeda, joins us live tonight. Michael, those schools are one of many places around the metro area having to deal with the aftermath of this weekend's rains.
You know, Cheerston schools here at Highline Elementary and at Overland High School was supposed to start tomorrow, but now thanks to this flooding, kids will have to wait until Tuesday or Wednesday to have their first day of school, depending on what grade they're in.
This was the scene at the 11111 condominium complex Saturday afternoon. Neighbors trying to get their cars out of underground parking garages that flooded.
When I went down to help retrieve my vehicle, other vehicles was floating around.
This resident, who doesn't want to share his identity, said this has been a problem before. So he was on his way to get his own car when he decided instead to help others. He says by the time he got to his vehicle, it was too late.
It sunk right between the rain and the water and stuff like that, so I wasn't able to pull my vehicle out.
Sunday residents still work together to pull out flooded vehicles. And just down the street, cleanup was also underway at Leonor Perez's home. Because Sunday, it was surrounded with rushing water.
All the water just poured down. You can see the mud.
He says workers from Mendez's tree trimming service, who had been working next door, jumped into action to help create a path for the water away from her home.
They just jumped into action once they saw my husband out here trying to do as much as he could, to redirect the water.
But Leonor didn't get off scot-free. She says $15,000 worth of landscaping washed away.
We had just finished the last touches yesterday with drought-resistant plants, and now it is all completely gone.
She also got some flooding in her basement, but is thankful for the quick thinking of family and new friends.
I think my husband's actions and my dad's tree removal, their help really saved our house from damage.
Now, flooding isn't new to this part of Aurora. Back in 2013.
Yeah, Lord, please, man, ain't no joke. You see, when the people getting a lot of water, some people ain't getting no water at all. Some places ain't getting no water at all, just droughts.
You run your business in Salesforce, so...
In fact, you know what? Where is this at? Wildfires? Should I even play that? No, I'm gonna move this video. Damn, I hate when this shit happens. I'm trying my hardest to move this shit. These stupid ass ads. You can't move. Goodness gracious, I hate this shit so damn much. Alright, yeah, let me move this video out down here to there. Okay, now let's start off with the wildfires. I don't even know what is this cost. I don't can't pronounce that. Crotata, I don't guessing this somewhere in Spain, I guess.
Pero tu je grozná 100 metak.
Did I just see some cars with no rims on it? So I'm guessing they got hit by some microwave weapons or some shit. I don't know.
Ja, jestem. So
Truly looks like the end of the world, bruh. Alright, that's enough of that. Let's see what the next video talk about. Indiana, thousands in Indiana still without power. Yep. Pray for the elect, wherever they at.
Europe's heat wave is no longer just a weather crisis. It is turning deadly. Around 16,000 more people than usual have reportedly died during just 1 week of extreme heat in June. Spain, France, Belgium and Germany were among the hardest hit as temperatures crossed 37 degrees Celsius. For Northern Europe, where extreme heat is less common, the crisis has exposed how vulnerable the continent has become. And the heat is now setting Europe ablaze. A fresh wave of scorching temperatures, drought and powerful winds is fueling wildfires across France, Britain, Spain, Germany, Croatia, Albania and Greece. Homes and forests are burning, thousands are being evacuated, and emergency services are stretched to the limit. In France alone, a major blaze near Bordeaux forced hundreds of thousands to flee their homes last month. The wildfire crisis is spreading across the continent. In Germany, around 1,800 residents were evacuated as flames threatened the village of Gay, while unexploded Second World War ordnance complicated firefighting. In Croatia, one person was killed, and more than 1,000 people fled an overnight blaze.
That's what Croatia. That's how you pronounce it, I guess. Maybe I don't know. That first video I was playing, I think it was Croatia.
Near Omis. In northern Greece, more than 300 people were evacuated by sea as flames swept.
I thought it was a city in Spain. Or was it Spain? I don't know. Anyway, shit.
Through a pine forest near the coast. Extreme heat is also threatening Europe's power supply. France has shut down 6 nuclear reactors in recent days as drought and soaring temperatures reduced available cooling water. Rivers are running dangerously low, while unusually warm waters are also disrupting plant operations. France depends on nuclear power for around 70% of its electricity, making the impact of extreme weather especially significant for the country's energy system. The biggest cost, however, is being paid in human lives. Germany alone has recorded an estimated 12,500 heat-related deaths between January and August 2nd, already exceeding the country's total for 2018. Across Europe, the June heat wave produced more deaths than the winter period, when respiratory illnesses typically drive mortality higher. Experts warn that older people and those living with existing health risks remain particularly vulnerable, and the heat is far from over. Britain and France are already bracing for another spell of extreme temperatures, with mercury levels forecast to reach the mid-30s Celsius. Britain has endured its 5th hot spell of the summer, while July was the driest on record in England and Wales. France is also expecting intense heat across much of the country, as authorities warn that future summers will become hotter. From deadly heat to raging wildfires, collapsing water levels, and strained power systems, Europe's summer is exposing the growing cost of a warming climate. Scientists have repeatedly warned that extreme heat will become more frequent and intense as...
Yeah, well, the scientists saying that, but the Prophet Yahweh Shema Shah saying the same thing. It's going to be more intense. But it ain't going to be caused by no climate change. It's being caused by Yahweh Shema Shah. Anyway, let's get to the next video. See what they talking about in this one. ad, man. Shit.
It is, according to the great German romantic poet Friedrich Hölderlin, the noblest of rivers, the freeborn Rhine. But a sustained heatwave and little precipitation have brought this mighty river low, dangerously low, posing major challenges for German industry. A week ago, it was the exposure of wrecks and war debris, including this bomb on the riverbank in Cologne. But now, commercial shipping along the full length of the Rhine River could soon become impossible. The current level is already threatening the economy and logistics sector, which depends on the waterway for supply chain efficiency. Yes, it is, of course, a very challenging situation. We have record low levels on the Rhine and also in the harbour. That means it presents us with big challenges that we have to overcome. Other supporting transportation methods are also fragile. It seems the only plan is to wait for rain. We are already at the point where not much more is needed before nothing works at all, and currently it's always difficult to make forecasts over a longer period. We probably won't be able to really breathe a sigh of relief until around mid to late September, when more rainfall is expected. The danger of the river becoming unnavigable now seems all too real. North Rhine-Westphalia's transportation minister is calling...
Now you can't say, when all these players being reported by the prophets of Yahweh Shema Shah, you clearly see all this being posted on the news and such. You can't say we ain't in the last day. We are definitely, these are the last days, and the Lord is almost here to make his grand appearance and shit, and plus make some grand destruction from especially Babylon and other parts around the world. But you can't say, you can't deny it, man. This is it, man. This is it. This got to be, no, not got to be, this is it, man. And this shit is almost over with. That's why, hey man, it's best for you to seek the Lord, repent, do the best you can. All we got left is just World War III getting more worse. The Jacob Trouble going full throttle, 9,000 RPMs, and the engine blow up, and the chip implant be implemented. I mean, and I don't know what else. Salvation. I would say men being given spiritual powers, but on a lower level, being in these base bodies. But shit. But when Yahweh Shah return, hell, deliverance come, then we come down. Was it what it says? I forgot how it said. Israel come down, or I think Jerusalem come down from the chariots. I just say that Israel come down from the chariots with the godlike bodies, and then that's it. It's a wrap. Yeah, that's all. I mean, come on, man. We at the end.
For more funding from the federal government to tackle the problem.
Look at this shit.
Scientists warned as long as 20 years ago that the
man, the prophets of Yahweh Shema Shah warned you niggas 20 years ago. But did y'all listen? Nope. Yeah, hell was prophesied 40 years ago. But did y'all listen that back then? Nope. Y'all had kept some under close watch, under a microscope or whatever the hell you want to call it, watchful eye. But now they're like, holy shit, these guys are right every time. And no. Yahweh Shema Shah is right every time. They just using us as, hey, well, I'm gonna say tools, but the Lord is using us as tools. Not in a bad way, but in a good way, using us in a good way to put the word out. Letting you devils know your world is coming to an end. And it's worth it.
Rhine could carry very little water, or in extreme cases, even run dry. We are now seeing that such scenarios, which were merely laughed at in the past, are now threatening to become a reality. The climate crisis is hitting us with full force, and that is why we must take action on climate protection.
Shut up, that climate shit. Nah, it's the Yahweh Shema Shah's players hitting you niggas full force. And it's just nothing, man. What is this? China 6th generation. I guess so. I'll add that in for more war videos. Yeah, the Lord's plagues is knocking you niggas out. Let's get to the next one. Dry. It's increasing food prices, yeah. And they put me somewhere they having a strike. Because people with their tractors, they doing it again with those tractors, protesting about something. I can't remember what it was about. Anyway.
It's the grazing, as you can see. That's supposed to be green grass, so we're actually buying in food. So it's going to be a loss on the cattle completely, because each bale you buy in is £50 odd, and they're getting through three of those in a week already, and the winter ain't even here yet. Cut right back with the cattle to try and bring the margins down, to try and help. You're on the border of saying, well, why don't you just let them go, you know, and get rid of them? But you know, I do like a few cattle around. They look nice and everything else, and the customers like them. So and these cattle, I've got a longhorn cattle, so they're quite attractive looking as well, which all helps Enfield. The public in Enfield like it. They come up here for a walk, see the cattle.
Get to the next one.
It's very, very, very difficult to be able to afford things.
I've had a wonderful life in this industry, and I just feel for them.
Marie Stevenson is milking 10,000 cows in 10 days right across the UK, and this is why she thinks it will help save lives in the farming industry.
We've had a sad time in our local community. There's been a lot of pressure on farming lately, and three people very close to us, aging from 15 to 60-year-old, have chosen to take their own lives. And I was sat in bed, and we were talking about how it's impacted the community, the school, everything, and I decided that I just needed to do something to raise awareness. We've had a laugh, and we've had some very deep conversations, but it's all about the cows. We've not had anything about money pressure particularly. It's all about, I just want it to rain because I need some grass for my cows. But we'll be all right. They try and jiggy themselves up. We'll be all right. The rain will come and we'll just harvest later if we can get on the land.
They know where to go. And they try to find their booth. Like, there's my booth. I'm going to my booth.
It's that little bit of stress at the back of their heads.
Why is it so tough at the moment?
The weather's not helped this year. The milk price collapsed, so they're struggling to make money anyway. They cope with the money side. It's hard, you know, they're raising families and everything, but it's more when the weather's now kicked in. They're worried sick that these animals aren't going to have anything to eat, and some are already started to sell some because they know that there's going to be no forage this year. And they love these animals, and the thought of them going hungry is just making people poorly because you're just stressed all the time. There's governmental pressures. It's always a volatile industry anyway, so you never know. You can't forecast particularly well like other businesses because you don't know what you're going to get paid. You don't know what the weather's going to do. And then there's the fuel price and all the input costs. They have so much things to consider. It's very multifaceted, but yeah, they're very bright people and they're very good in adversity. But just lately, it seems to just been the last straw for a lot of them. These guys, they're not rich. They've a lot of assets, but you can't spend them because they're in love with what they do. And you know, they build it up for the next generation. They make sure that it's set up so it can be passed on to the next generation. And what the inheritance tax...
Damn sure ain't gonna be none of that. I mean, the next generation gonna be Jacob. Y'all niggas ain't gonna have nothing next but slavery.
Thing that's done is basically...
Anyway, I'm trying to get on out here. Like, how... it's not an hour. I thought it'd be an hour long. I feel like it's an hour long. Yeah, you can watch the rest of this video. I ain't gonna play all this stuff. Let's see what's going on with these droughts in America, especially with affecting the food. Farmers.
One Utah County farmer is getting hit hard from multiple angles, losing several of their staple crops. News specialist Mike Anderson shows us how they're working to recover and why they say all farmers this year need our support. Mike?
Yeah, the apples here pretty much wiped out. It's the cold and then the heat and the drought. It's like that for a lot of crops out here.
When your customers are the ones who pick the fruits and vegetables, you want to be able to put your best foot forward.
What was your name? Cody. I'm Chris.
But this year, Chris Riley...
It's definitely been worse this year than years past.
...says it's been tough from a lot of angles.
See that leaf, how it's kind of singed around the edge? That's from the frost.
150 acres of orchards, multiple fruit crops wiped out by an early bloom and then freeze.
Normally, these would just be loaded with apples, and you can see there's... I mean, if you go through, you can find one here and there, but you can see here there's virtually nothing.
And while it... It helps to diversify.
We thought, well, at least we'll have the tomatoes.
Yeah, those have taken a hit too, from what's called the curly top virus.
You can see more behind us here where they just kind of collapse.
Difficult conditions piled on, impacting one crop after another.
And it appears this may be affecting our pumpkin crop too.
But not everything is bad. Riley is grateful for the ones that did make it.
They don't get much better than this.
Like the raspberries.
We'll celebrate any win we can get this year.
Loyal customers like Cody Hofer feel it too.
Yeah, I realize it's tough for them, but that's why I like to come out and support them too.
Because in some ways, this farm is their farm.
And you like being able to pick it yourself?
Not so much, but the freshness counts. Sometimes I come down here and just sucker into the stuff that's already boxed up.
And that's the kind of support that Riley says all farmers need right now.
I'll be okay when 2026 is in the rearview mirror. It's been a tough year.
Ultimately, the Rileys lost about 2/3 of their tomatoes, but they were able to save some. As you see here, they just had to replant multiple times to do it. In Genola, Mike Anderson, KSL 5.
Yep. Food being affected.
Welcome back. Chip's Corner this weekend. Chip Flory joining us. Chip, in weather, we kept talking about all of the rain in the Eastern Corn Belt, the derecho, and how quickly that story has changed. But in the Western Corn Belt, my goodness, this drought has taken a toll on the crop. You just look at North Dakota crop conditions, and those continue to decline.
Yeah, Wednesday night into Thursday morning, South Dakota, Eastern Nebraska, Iowa again picked up some more rains. But North Dakota, the rains have been very spotty. Now, I had a conversation with Dr. Lee Breeze from Central Ag Consulting in Jamestown, North Dakota last week, and I wanted to talk very specifically about what was going on up in North Dakota. Number one, generally speaking, the crop got planted on time. Number two, after emergence, it got cold, and the crop lost some of the seedling vigor that you like to see early in the year. Then it started to dry out, and then it got hot, and it has stayed hot for quite some time. They have seen very limited relief on rainfall, to the point that some producers are starting to decide exactly how they're going to harvest this year's crop. I asked Dr. Breeze about that.
The boys in Bismarck country, right in central North Dakota, have been talking about that, some fields in particular. One of the things that is kind of a little bit of a saving grace is it's kind of spotty. There's a pocket here, and that's really bad, and then you go a little ways, and it's a little bit better. And so there's still some things to do that. So they're out and prioritizing those fields, the ones that they think are not going to be salvageable, and they are starting to chop some of that corn where there are some cattle around.
Man, it's just crazy. The middle of August and starting to chop some corn up in North Dakota. We also had USDA's first survey-based estimate of the year, and we aren't looking at a national average corn yield like what we saw a year ago. I think we're safe in saying that. And part of the reason is because a year ago, states like North Dakota, they weren't pulling down on the national average yield like they typically do. Had a really good corn yield a year ago up in North Dakota, 158 bushels per acre. Look at South Dakota, 171 bushels per acre a year ago. This year, both of those states are expected to be down. I asked Dr. Breeze what his expectations are for North Dakota compared to a year ago.
From what I know in the North Dakota, I think we're gonna fall short of those goals, Chip. I don't, especially in the corn situation. We had a really beautiful fall last fall, nice warm weather, good moisture into it, and that really made harvest conditions go well. Yeah, and that little bit of soybean coming out, and I know you're giving us a hard time on that soybean, but remember, we're on the northern end of that, and 35 isn't too bad for us. We want to try to get closer to 40 on a lot of fields, but I don't think that's going to happen. We're seeing those lighter spots in the fields burning up, the leaves are dropping, and in the.
I ain't gonna play the rest of it. If you want to watch it, you see the title. If you can't, because I noticed that on the phones when you're playing the video on Odyssey, it cuts out. It's not when you got it on full screen. It doesn't show everything for some odd reason. I don't know. They need to fix this shit. But this is on YouTube as well. Yeah, I post videos on YouTube. I've been posting videos on YouTube for months. In case anybody watching in Odyssey, because most of the viewers on Odyssey. Yeah, it's pretty. I think it's the same. They both got the same name of channel title. Yeah, here you go on YouTube. There go the title. Let's get back to here. Yeah, see what Lake Mead and Lake Powell looking like.
And out west, a critical water lifeline for millions of people across 7 states is hitting a dangerous new low. Lake Mead, the largest reservoir in the U.S., has fallen nearly 4 feet this year, dropping to just over 1,000 feet. That is the lowest level ever recorded. You can see it here. Satellite images showing Lake Mead just 3 years ago compared to now. Look at that. The reservoir sits on the Arizona-Nevada border, created by the Hoover Dam along the Colorado River. It's now just about a quarter full after years of drought, rising temperatures, shrinking snowpack, and heavy water use. And with Lake Mead still falling, the pressure is only growing to force deeper cuts to water use across the region. I want to bring in St. John Eberly. He's the Senior Director of Communications for American Rivers. St. John, I've known you for quite a while. We've spoken many times about this. What exactly, for people that don't know, what exactly is driving this drop?
Well, Steve, we're in the grip of a relentless 25-year drought across the Southwest. Last winter, we had one of the lowest snowpacks in recorded history on top of this series of very dry years. According to the USGS, more than 90% of the total water in the Colorado River comes from the snowpack in Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming, and the reservoirs in those states are low too. The water is just not there.
The 7 states that rely on Lake Mead, the Colorado River, have been fighting over the water allotments for years. Last month, the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation stepped in to ration the water supply, right? I mean, tell us where negotiations are right now with those states, and what could the feds decide in this case?
Well, the 7 states have been negotiating a solution for years and have not been able to come to a consensus. So last week, the government released an analysis of the many different ways the Colorado River could be managed in the future. These rules will decide how much water flows from the mountains through the reservoirs and through Grand Canyon to cities and farms below Lake Mead. So this is just the first step in the process. There's a path to manage the river that is forthcoming, and there's many new steps to come.
St. John, why does it seem like the lower basin states, especially when you're talking about Arizona, are taking such a disproportionate hit? And how are people in a state like that, especially Arizona, how are they reacting to the news?
Well, the federal government actually has more authority to manage how much water the lower states get, California, Arizona, and Nevada. And so, and those amounts are also dictated by seniority, which the states agreed to long ago. Arizona has the most junior water rights of those states, and so they could take a proportionally larger cut because of that. And they're very concerned. I mean, the state of Arizona, but especially the cities of Phoenix and Tucson, are quite reliant on Colorado River water to survive. And so it's really important.
Wow, look at that shit. Wow.
That everyone, every industry, every farm, try to use less water. And then we also have to consider the river. While we have 7 states.
And they're going to start using less water when that water rationing kicks in. Especially food rationing, energy rationing, fuel rationing, you know, all this rationing, the shortage on all basic necessities. And don't worry, I'm about to get into the scriptures. I say that for best for last because I got a whole bunch of videos I want to work from was it the beginning to the end.
There is only one
into the scriptures.
in Colorado River, and for all of us to thrive, we need it to thrive as well.
Every time I do the plagues, I don't really get into the scriptures so soon. I'll wait to the end when I do the plague video.
You can't find a ranch style with a view. And a mom in Mosley. More realtor agents recommend Realtor.com.
The nation's second largest reservoir in Arizona is in trouble. That means our water supply for drinking and farming could soon be in jeopardy. Federal water officials say yesterday's reading of Lake Powell's pool elevation dropped below 3,500 feet. It comes less than 2 weeks after Lake Mead, the largest reservoir, hit a record low. The Water Resources Research Center says this year's El Nino won't be enough to replenish the lake's water supplies. Both reservoirs serve Southern California, Arizona, Nevada, and Mexico.
This is Indonesia, the earthquake. It was a 7.7 or something like that. Yeah, I got a customer. Yeah, I guess he moving to Indonesia. Oh, yeah, that's right. You know how people are making a mad dash out of America? This one dude, I don't really cut his yard a lot, but I did some job for him before, but now he want me to do something now where he got 3 rental properties that he's selling. He want me to take care of cutting them while he's handling business out of the country. But he said, I think he said he supposed to be moving to Indonesia, or was it Thailand? Probably Thailand. But anyway, pretty much he's leaving America, just like a lot of people are. This ain't got nothing to do. The only reason I brought that up because I'm thinking, is this guy moving to Indonesia? I wasn't sure. I think it was Thailand. Most likely probably Thailand. But anyway, the guy here moving out of America, taking his family with him too. They selling everything and moving to Thailand. Doing, I guess, humanitarian work or some shit. Whatever. Anyway. But it's just more people leaving out of America. I don't see much but a fucked up. Yeah, this shit looks fucked up. There's like stuff falling over. The roads all fucked up. Let's see what the other the other video look like.
This is a significant, I'm being told, 7.7 magnitude earthquake and pretty shallow.
Yeah, another big one. Of course, this is on the heels of the Colombia one and also the 8.0 that happened in Venezuela. So this is in Indonesia. And if you remember, all the way back in 2004, we had a 9.1. It killed thousands of people, one of the worst tsunamis in recorded history. This, we just learned, did not produce a significant tsunami. So that's a sigh of relief for the area. It struck at 5 a.m. in the morning. But
you know damn well they want to see a tsunami. These news niggas. So they can get ready to say there's the massive waves and the massive deaths and the death count keep rising and it's looking awesome and great. Yeah, more ratings.
Shake
pumping more fear.
Of it being near the islands and population centers, there's significant damage from the shaking alone. So the tsunami part we're happy about. That's good. That's good for areas in India. It's good for areas in Australia. But as far as the shaking went, this was a very shallow earthquake at only 6 miles, and it was about a 7.7. Just to kind of give you a scale of what that even means. Here's in a typical year on our planet, the magnitude that we see. Usually we only get one that's an 8. Well, we just had that in Venezuela. We only typically get 18 in the entire globe that are a 7.0 to a 7.9. This was a 7.7 or 7.8. Pretty high on this scale. So you see how rare it is and why it really got everyone's attention thinking, Tom, could we have a really powerful tsunami out of this too? So we'll find out about the shaking. They estimate roughly 200,000 people were close enough for extreme shaking, and we're waiting to see how bad the structural damage is in those areas.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app.
The terrifying. This is what I wanted to see. With all this other yickety-yackety talk shit, I wanted to see the action happening, unfolding.
The force of the earthquake, bringing down buildings and causing panic in the streets. Dozens of people have so far been confirmed dead, but the full scale of the disaster is still being uncovered. Rescue workers continue to scour the rubble, looking for anyone trapped underneath. More than 1,000 homes have been destroyed and an estimated 5,000 people displaced. This man's house lies close to the epicenter. He says he was asleep when the earthquake struck in the early hours of the morning, nearly bringing his house down on top of him. Now he and his neighbours can only assess the damage, picking through the debris to try and recover any possessions.
Oh no! Oh, that's why the Lord brought them earthquakes, because of that fucking shit. What they just dug out of there. I thought it was some jewelry. It come out to be some junk. Well, it looked like jewelry, but he had it on his other hand. He got that cross. That's some piece of junk. You think when the Lord returns, Yahweh Shah returns, you think he want to see that shit? A fucking symbol of a torture device? Fuck no.
Through the debris to try and recover any possessions.
Here's a possession. Oh, thank Lord Jesus Christ. Like, fuck that shit. And fuck that cross, man. That torture device.
Dozens of schools and healthcare facilities have also been severely damaged. Temporary medical tents have been assembled outside hospitals, which are now too unsafe to treat patients inside. This footage, taken by a healthcare worker, shows medical professionals trying to salvage medicines and equipment from inside, the hundreds of aftershocks only adding to the destruction. But much of the terrain close to the epicenter is remote and mountainous, making attempts to deliver aid treacherous, made worse by landslides and power outages caused by the earthquake.
A trauma feeling is definitely there. A lot of people are still in the camps, outside in the field, in the open area, with the very limited shelter kits, only like sort of tarpaulin and something to put on the ground just to make sure that they can get through the night so although it is not good time to be together in a tent, but we have seen the connection, the solidarity among the people are there. They are willing to adapt to the new situation in the camp.
The search for survivors continues. Just how deadly the earthquake has been is still unclear. Caroline Lewis, ITV News.
Yup, let's end it there. Let's get started with the scripture. Nahum chapter 1, verse 3. The Lord Yahweh is slow to anger and great in power and will not of all acquit the wicked. So all this destruction is going on all over the world is for the wicked. The people of the world, from the 2/3 of Israel to you heathens. The Lord Yahweh have his way in the whirlwind and in the storm of the clouds of dust at his feet. Isaiah chapter 28 verse 2. Behold, the Lord Yahweh Bashemah shall have a mighty and strong one, which is a tempest of hell and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, shall cast down to the earth with the hand. Isaiah chapter 29 verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. What else? Let's check the list. See, we talked about floods, storms, wildfires. And see, we got about droughts. Let's get the droughts, man. Let's get those droughts. Let's talk about the droughts. Let me see. Shoot. Psalm chapter 107, verse 3. He turneth the rivers into wilderness, and the water springs into dry ground. A fruitful land into barrenness for the wickedness of them that dwell therein. He turneth the wilderness into standing water, and dry ground into water springs. And there he maketh the hungry to dwell, that they may prepare a city for habitation. What else we got? We got droughts. Oh yeah, and then people need water, so you know that's a basic necessity. The chief thing for life is water. Let's get it. Ecclesiasticus chapter 29 verse 21. The chief thing for life is water and bread, which there's gonna be a shortage on that, and clothing and housing to cover shame. But the purpose of rereading this is about that water. The chief thing for life is water. What else we got? Droughts. Oh yeah, droughts on Babylon. Let me go and get to that. You got droughts going on in other places around the world, but America, Babylon the Great, what is the land of? What is it? The land of what is it? The place with all these damn funky ass idols. Yeah, people worshiping whatever you want to worship, and doing whatever you want to do, and screw whatever you want to screw, or it. That's Babylon. Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 38. A drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up, for it is the land of graven images. You worshiping all kind of shit with stones or wood, all kind of goofy stuff. Yeah, and they are mad upon their idols. Them idols ain't doing nothing for them. Yep. Ain't protecting them or nothing. For you Israelites, need to get away from the dumbass idols and worship the true living power, Yahweh, and his son Yahweh Shah, your savior. Let me see, what else we got? Talked about droughts. Water, oh yeah, without that water, hey man, the heat and the lack of rain water is messing up the bread, messing up the food. I say the bread, not actual bread, but food, pretty much. Creating a shortage of food. Famine of bread, increasing that. Let's get it. Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 16. When thou shalt send upon them the evil's arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you, and will increase the famine upon you, and break your staff of bread. So many ways the Lord is breaking the staff of bread, from transportation, from logistics, natural disasters, all kind of stuff. Anyway, it's going down. And what else we got? Earthquakes in diverse places. Yep, these are the plagues of the Lord. Matter of fact, let me get one more scripture too to end it all, because all this stuff is global. And for you Israelites, y'all global, scattered all over the world. And that's what the Lord did. He put y'all in different parts of the world, and it's beautiful. So it will be a great awakening, and it'll be a great deliverance that's going to be all over the world. And the biggest deliverance is going to be in America. Yep. But it's going to be beautiful when it's all the Lord gather up his sheep, the elect of Israel. Not everybody or anybody, no. It's going to be a selected, elected of amount of people. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 37. Behold, the plague draw nigh, and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth great pains compass of wounds. Or wound, not wounds. She ain't got one wound. Anyway, which pains? When the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. When the world shall, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So it's gonna be all over the world. So the best thing you Israelites need to do, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you speckled bird that look like he might look like these Indonesian folks, which is anywhere, Seek the Lord by seeking his prophets and taking heed to what to say, and try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shema Shah by praying Yahweh Shema Shah, praising Yahweh Shema Shah, worshiping Yahweh Shema Shah, fearing Yahweh Shema Shah, repenting to Yahweh Shema Shah. To all the men out there pushing this truth and nothing but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Shema Shah. Keep on preach, keep on teach, keep your faith and trust strong. Yahweh Shema Shah, stay humble. And for you men that ain't prophesying but still keeping your faith and trust strong, Yahweh Shema Shah, doing the best you can do, keep doing it. For you few sisters out there taking heed, keep your faith and trust strong. Yahweh Shema Shah, stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order. Yahweh Shema Shah. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Shalom.